Hi everyone, my name's Corey. What you're looking at right now is the Palatoy Vintage Death Star. So there are two Death Stars that were released in the Star Wars Vintage series. There's the Palatoy one here that we'll look at properly soon. You can see there's all sorts of things in this little room here, including a full set of vintage figures there. And the other Death Star we have is what's called the US version. You can see up there, Slave 1 next to it there. But what we're focusing on today, just go a bit slow with the camera around. See a bit of what we got here in my Star Wars room. And big Millennium Falcon down the bottom there. What we're focusing on today is the Palatoy Death Star. Now, for those of you who don't know what this is, this Death Star was made and released by Palatoy and Toltoys in New Zealand. We have the only Death Stars released in the world in this form. Other than this one, the American one was released. These were not released in the United States. So you can see this here is possibly the most expensive cardboard on earth. And guess what? I have two of them, and I've owned another one before as well. Here is, over the back there you can see, maybe in the dark, maybe a bit too dark, the box. And inside this box here, oh, going a bit dodgy there on camera, is another Death Star. Pretty cool. So the Palatoy Death Star here, made in 1977, I think is the greatest Star Wars playset that there has ever been made. You can see here by what I've made, what I've put together or created is basically a Stormtrooper army. And underneath here, I've got one of those Lazy Susans. So check that out. It spins nicely. So you can see here, there's Vader talking to the Emperor, some Imperial Guards, a stack of Stormtroopers in there. You can see here that door removes, appears the chute that goes through the prison detention block down into the trash compactor. On the wall here, you can see a Death Star picture on the screen. It's a bit dark, but I think you'll understand or get to see what it is. I've put here, you can see he's a new figure, but he's just pretty cool. Also got the release figure they made of Grand Moff Tarkin just over the back there. So two new figures in here, or newer figures. Look at that, Biker Scouts. Pretty cool. This is the way to inside. You can see all this nice artwork. You've got Stormtroopers on the edge here. Another Stormtrooper on the edge here. This guy looks a bit yellow at the moment, so might swap him out. Under here is the command center. You can see that door there comes off. It didn't come originally with that, but because I have two Death Stars, I grabbed that door here off the other Death Star and sealed it in over the back there. You can just see it under there. You spin this around here. You can see the trash compactor. So the chute here goes down to the trash compactor. I've randomly got Lando here. Lando's not really in the Death Star, we know that, but I've put him in there. The nice grey cape, Natu and Chewbacca fighting back. I don't know who put FX7 in here, but you can see what this does. Let's move that out of the way. It opens up to another compartment here, but if you put figures down the Death Star chute, so you're down the chute here, they go down that black chute there, end up in here, and you can see where the pole is that separates the walls, or they try to use to separate the walls. You can see the little eye there, the diagonal. I'll move this transport out of the way. How cool is that on that Lazy Susan? Then around this side here, sorry, there's a bit of a squish in here at the moment. Around the Lazy Susan here. Look at that. We've got the bounty hunters in this Death Star. I know it should be a Star Destroyer, but it seems to work quite well. Okay. The way this is put together, you can see it's quite thick cardboard. Released only in New Zealand, Australia, and England that I know of. It's held together by these little brackets here that I'm sure if you had lost, they're quite easy to 3D print. Then on the roof here, you can barely see it, is the turret. Now this part on top is the hardest bit to get, that little bit of plastic there. Inside my turret is, of course, the Death Star gunner. You can see the cannons that come off the turret there are exactly the same as those on the vintage X-Wing. The vintage X-Wing fighter. So yeah, very difficult to see. I don't want to pull it out at the moment. It doesn't look like there's much light in the video here, but actually, when you're in the room here, it's quite bright. So you can see the room here is packed with other stuff. All sorts of stuff. There's some old vintage stuff down the bottom there in the cabinet. Transformers, G.I. Joes, wrestlers. I used to have 110 LJN wrestlers. LJN wrestlers too. So like the Ultimate Warrior down there. Haku, Andre the Giant, Ravishing Rick Martel, Warlord were released in New Zealand as well. We had heaps of them. They're made in Canada. They have heaps. You can see the full set there. Look at this. That is pretty cool. Would love the flag at the moment, but just don't have the space. As you can see, this is like a little sealed in cupboard containing a lot of stuff. The picture quality isn't perfect. Have a Lego street scene here. So yeah, very cool stuff. So anyway, getting back just before we close off. So this Palatoy Death Star, I've seen retail for $3,000. You're going to hate it when I tell you this, but I got this for 110 New Zealand dollars. So that's probably equates to, probably at the time, maybe 70, 75 US dollars. I bought it on auction on Trade Me, which is quite similar to eBay that we have in our country. And the auction closed at 12 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and no one was watching, so I got it. The one I got under here, on that box, I paid $300 for. That was my original one, but this one that I got for 110 New Zealand dollars is better condition. I was given one when I was about 10 years old by some family friends that had had it for years at that stage, so probably around 1987, with some figures and bits and pieces. Really thankful, but my mother and father chucked it out in a black rubbish bag along with the rest of my Star Wars collection, so I've spent years building it up. The only thing I'm really looking for in the Star Wars collection now is I'm still after the Star Destroyer, you know, that tacky looking vintage Star Destroyer. A couple of the sets, like the Hoth set, not the turret set, not the Probot set, but the one with the AT-AT Walker in the background. Also the Creature Cantina. After that, and the TIE Bomber in the diecast series. So that's really hard to get in our country. The Palatoy Death Star here, they do come up for sale on Trade Me in New Zealand quite often, and normally go for a starting price of around probably $2,000. But yeah, as you can see, I was lucky with this one for 110. I reckon that's an awesome set. I've had so many hours of fun with this as a kid. I was playing with it all the time. So now having a Stormtrooper army, I've got about 70 or 80 vintage Stormtroopers all together. Not in here, but all over the show. Very, very lucky to have this here and to have that other one in the box. One of my mates around the corner, we do a Star Wars man cave tour with a group of us where I live. He also has one. He lives maybe about 1 kilometre from my house. So very, very cool. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a show of my room here. Yeah, and I'll try and make some more videos soon. If you see anything in the room that you think, oh, can you please make a video of that, just contact me. Have a great weekend.